In 2003, Mercy Network had its first meeting. Kat Bowden called the meeting together among churches and nonprofit organizations who were serving the needy in Clay County. People needed to talk because there were so many folks who were scamming the system. They wanted to make sure that they weren't duplicating services. And because we were so limited on services, we wanted to make sure we were using our services effectively. The network meeting became a regular monthly meeting. There were displaced families in Clay County who were not being helped. And so round about that time, they started to put displaced families in hotels and try to case manage them back to self-sufficiency. So we went to Orange Park United Methodist Church and solicited funds to rent our first group home. That started what we would later call Mercy Support Services.
So many people in our community are working from day to day and worrying about whether they'll have a roof over their heads or food to eat. And Mercy Support Services was an answer to helping people who have the desire to be self-sufficient. We provide support and loving care and guidance and temporary housing while they work towards self-sufficiency.
We started with 2 rented houses, and we were able to put several families in these houses. So as we developed the standards of operation in Mercy Support Services to build that organization, we recognized that we had to have a resident assistant in the houses. We had to have case management working with each family. And so that is how Mercy Support Services developed. When we get a call in the call center, a call log is created and we find out what the basic needs of that person is. And once we have established that, we decide whether we can help them by referring them to some of our partners, or we would determine whether or not they could come into our residential self-sufficiency program. One call will impact 3 to 5 people. And so in the 4.5 years that we have tracked those calls for, we have impacted over 14,000 people. We have gotten a lot of calls from what we would call middle class. They are more confused about the system than anything else, so they need somebody to help them navigate the system. And so Mercy Support Services is the best person to help them navigate the system. Once they come in, they are paired up with a case manager, which we now call a care coach. Each family or each person has their own care coach. That care coach will work with them to determine what their needs are. We can help up to 16 families at this point in time. So we have grown in terms of budget, we have grown in terms of staff, and we have grown in terms of the number of people that we are able to help. And so now we are working to help individuals, single women and single men, to get back on their feet. And we talked about a Dream Center, which is a one-stop center where people would come and would be able to get all their needs met at that one place. We are currently working on an annual fundraising campaign, which we are seeking to raise an additional $60,000 over and above our budget so that we can meet the needs that are out there, because we're not growing just because we want to. We're growing only to meet the needs that are there. What I see in the future is that we will go beyond just helping people when they are already homeless, but we will get to a place where we can help people who are at risk of becoming homeless and help them to stay in their homes.
We need a lot more people on board. We need people who have a heart for working with homeless people. And if they can't work with them, we certainly will receive whatever contributions they can make.
Without the help of those who are funding us currently, we couldn't do what we're doing. So we want to thank our churches and all the individuals and all the other organizations who have been just so generous to Mercy Support Services.